This is one of my Piere Lomont master violins. They're really beautiful. I design them myself. I go to my workshop to really make sure that they're quality controlled. They use the beautiful Italian varnish. They sound amazing. A lot of players really love them. It's such a nice instrument. If you're a hobby player and you just want a nice instrument that works well for you, so many players around the world just really love the Piere Lomont. And one of the things I do is I set the instrument up very carefully to make sure that it's really easy to play and that the sound is really optimized. It's something I guarantee. So firstly, I just check over the whole instrument and make sure it's okay. Then I refit the pegs and finish off the pegs. Make sure that they work really smoothly and perfectly. Just testing the peg. Now I put a cover on the instrument to protect it, ready to play in the fingerboard. And I have to take the nut off. Then I start planing the fingerboard with a plane. I carefully make sure that the fingerboard is very smooth. I check with the ruler to make sure that it's slightly hollow from end to end. Then I plane some more. And I check it again with the ruler and scrape the fingerboard with a scraper. Then I start sanding. This really finishes off the fingerboard, and I sand from a coarse grade sandpaper to a fine grade sandpaper. And finally I finish off the fingerboard with the oil. Now just check it one last time. And glue the nut back on. Better clean some of that glue off. Now it's time to just double check the string height and choose a bridge. I just mark off the feet and do a rough cut. And then I start fitting the bridge carefully to the top plate. I put on a little bit of a mark so that I can see how well the bridge fits. And now I just do the final fitting. The bridge has to fit 100%. Now I mark the string height. 3 millimeters on the E, 5 millimeters on the G. And then I mark the curvature and carve the bridge round. Now I thickness the bridge with a plane and start just doing the final carving of the bridge. That gives it its final shape and some of its acoustic properties. My knife has to be extremely sharp. Then just do the final thicknessing. And then I sand the bridge. Going from coarse sandpaper to finer sandpaper. Just finishing off the feet. Now I put some oil on the bridge to give it a nice finish and protect it. And finally I put the stamp on. Just filing the string grooves, which I have already marked in, and putting some graphite in the string grooves to make the strings move smoothly. Now I file the nut to the right height. And sand it to make it look beautiful and be smooth. This is the final finish with oil. Now mark in the string width and string spacing. Then I cut the grooves with a knife. And finally I file the grooves to the right height. It's really important for the string height. It makes it much easier to play when the strings are fairly low. Now put some pencil in the string grooves. Clean everything up. And now it's time to get the tailpiece ready. Just fitting the fine tuner. And putting on the strings. I use good quality Eva Perazzi strings on this violin because they just sound so much better. There goes the E string. Okay, now all the strings are on and I just tune the instrument roughly and fit the sound post. Fitting the sound post is very important. In some languages the sound post is called the soul of the instrument. And so even just a minute adjustment will make a big difference. Okay, here we go. One more adjustment and then it'll be time to try out the instrument in my shop. Give the instrument a final clean in my shop. And I test it. Hear the violin for the first time. That's always very exciting. Just tune the instrument. It's always a bit hard to tune first when you've just put on new strings. Do some final adjustments with a sound post setter. Then I try it again. that's working really well now. And it's pretty much, I'd probably test it one more time before I send it. It's always very important to me, and I'll check all the heights again and do just about everything. So that's what I do when I set up my Piere Lomont Master, or any of my instruments actually, from beginner instruments all the way up to, you know, $60,000, $70,000 instruments. I very carefully set up each instrument, make sure that everything's right. Anyway, hope you liked this video. Like the video if you liked it. It'd be great if you could subscribe to my channel. That way you find out every time I post a new video. Well, actually, you've got to hit a little bell so it'll do that. So if you could do that, that's great. Keep making beautiful music, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.